Hello, everyone. Can you hear me? Let me know if you guys can hear me in the chat. Last week we had an issue with this, so I want to make sure before we start that everyone can hear me. Awesome. Okay, good. Yay. Good. Because last week we had an issue with the audio. That is Mercury retrograde. And let me know how Mercury retrograde is affecting you. For me personally, it's been audio issues with my phone, with my computer, and my speech. Like I will be saying different words, or I'm mumbling over words, or I'm just like doing a bunch of crazy stuff. So let me know how it is affecting you. And it looks like we have a lot of people here. Hello, Chris, Chastity, Nicole is here, of course, moderating for us. We have Kelly. We have Willa from Pittsburgh. Judy, hello. We have Monique from North Carolina. Tiponi from Florida. Me too. Kenya says she's a Scorpio and Mercury retrograde is killing her. Yeah, for some reason, I feel like this one is really, really potent. And I don't exactly know why it is like that. But anyhow, I'm happy that you guys are all here. I'm happy you guys were able to make it live. I'm happy you guys can hear me this time around. I have a really, really, really great reading in store for you guys. And before I start, I just want to kind of talk about what is going on, because I'm sure that you guys can notice a difference in the energy. You probably see a big difference in, a lot of the readers that you guys watch on YouTube, because the energy really has changed. We've had some really big planets shift into brand new houses where they're going to be for the next like 6, 7 to 8 years. So you guys probably feel these new beginnings, new shifts, new cycles. And that's why I titled this The New Cycle, because there's going to be a new way to navigate this. And of course, the best way to navigate this is going to be, what feels right for you. But in general, a main concept or a main idea to understand is that this new cycle can be anything you want it to be. But in order to do that, you have to let go of the past. Okay, so likely with where the planets were at the 29th degree, you probably started feeling a little bit of ease from your past. But now that we're at 0 degrees and things are moving forward, it's almost like chains have been ripped off of you and you can now do whatever you want to do. So let me know if you feel that, if you feel this new energy, if you feel more optimistic, if you feel more positive about the future. And also, are you starting to see what you need to do? The pathway should be looking a little bit clearer for you as well, okay? Now, we're going to talk about that in relation to relationships, okay? But before we do, I want to just let you know that there are definitely different pockets within the collective, okay? There are definitely some people who are in different places. So where I'm at and what I'm channeling, it might not resonate with you. But even if it does, it's good to still listen to get an idea of what's to come, because then you know what to expect, you know what to prepare for, okay? So definitely let me know as well, where are you at in your relationship? How are things going there? What I really feel is that if you've really been putting in the work, if you've been working hard, throughout this last year and you've been moving forward and you've been focusing on yourself, you should be reaping some rewards. There should be some benefit. You should be getting something, okay? If not, likely you're seeing what you still need to fix. You're seeing what you still need to work on. No matter what side of, that you fall into, what should be coming up for you as well is your fears. You should be able to start identifying, okay, what fears do I have? Now, the reason those are coming up are for you to deal with them. Okay. It's not to torment you. They're coming up so that you can finally deal with them and let them go. That way, you're not carrying old baggage, old wounds with you into this next chapter, okay? So for me personally, and I've talked about this on my channel, there is a video if you want to check it out. I've talked about my personal fear of marriage and my fear of motherhood. And that's, things that, obviously people think are really positive and people want, but it's a fear that I have. And it's something that I've had to face and confront because very likely within the next 7-year period, those things are going to come up for me. For you, it may be something different. For you, maybe the fear of abandonment is showing up for you. And maybe you're seeing that in your relationship. You're seeing your partner abandon you. Okay. So it's coming up for you to deal with. Okay. Or you're seeing rejection. Maybe you're getting rejected by your partner. That's coming up for you to deal with it so that you can understand it, understand where it comes from, and you can work through it. Okay. So don't be afraid of the things that are coming up. Don't be afraid to work through them. Don't be afraid to talk about them. Don't be afraid to admit them. When you can get your fears out in the open, when you can talk about them openly, it really makes them not that scary. This is just your mind and your subconscious, making things up or making things more than they are to kind of hold you back. Okay. So just remember that. Really, really important to know in this cycle. And also with Mercury retrograde, just a side note about that is that it's not necessarily a bad thing. Okay. Like, everyone's always like, oh my God, Mercury's retrograde, the world is ending. But it definitely can show you a different perspective about things. It can help you to see things in a different way or help you to communicate things that maybe you wouldn't otherwise communicate. So also, a lot of you may be finding that you're like reconnecting with old people from your past, and the conversation may be very different than it's been in a long time. So that definitely is very intentional. For some of you, that conversation is really good with that person. And like I said, if you and that person both have been working on yourselves, you've been working through your challenges, you've been healing, you've been working through your fears, then this Mercury retrograde is an opportunity for you to really connect with them and start planning what needs to happen. Okay. If you're not having that experience, or maybe you're on one page and they're on another page, that's perfect too, because that can give you a better idea of where you're heading. So it can give you, a sense of closure or just like an understanding that maybe you haven't had previously to now. Okay. So it's not all a bad thing. It definitely does have benefits. Okay. All right, guys. So we're going to go ahead and start the reading now. I hope you guys have enjoyed that little channeled message. It's just something to kind of help you guys to understand what's going on energetically, because there are really big changes. But just remember, this new cycle, this year can be anything you want it to be. If you feel held back, that's your own fears holding you back. That's you standing in your own way of success. You can have anything you want. You can manifest anything you want. You can be anything you want. Okay. So don't stand in your own way. Be active in your journey. Don't just let the journey happen to you. Take action, move forward, make changes, make arrangements, let go of the past, and make that life that you want. Okay. That's all 100% up to you. Now, if you are like kind of stuck and you're not knowing what to do, you're not knowing what direction to go in, don't keep yourself stuck. Okay. Like, don't keep yourself stuck. I have created a resource for you to use to get yourself unstuck. And you guys have heard me talk about it in every video, and that is Rising Community. That is my private coaching group that is held over on Patreon. And that group is there for you to help yourself. Okay. Because that's the thing about this journey. Like, it's a self-led journey. Like, you have to be the leader and the commander of yourself, your emotions, your feelings. Because guys, guess what? These energy shifts, they're going to keep happening, right? But you have to be ahead of them. You have to know how to work with them, not against them. And being prepared and having things in order and in line in your life is going to help you to do that. Okay. So that's why that resource is there. Nicole's going to give you guys links to get over there. And Nicole is a testament herself of how joining that group can change your life. Because when you're in that group and you're investing in yourself, I see you and I can help you and I can utilize you. And I saw Nicole and I saw her potential, and I utilized her, and I've, helped get her on the track that she's on. And now she's on the pathway to success, and you guys are going to see her really, 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 really soon. Okay. So I have resources there for you to learn. I have modules that you can read, and you can literally create your own little journal that will coach you. I provide you with the resources. So if you invest in yourself and you put the work in, you will get benefit in that. And if I see you putting the work in, I will invest in you. Okay. So that resource is there. There are different levels, there are different tiers, okay? So go ahead and read through them and see which one makes sense for you. And again, the more you invest in yourself, the more that I give to you, okay? So that's how that works. A lot of people have asked about my monthly buy sign readings, like where have those gone? Those are in Rising Community, okay? Those are in Rising Community. You can actually get all of the readings for this month, the buy sign readings, for free in Rising Community. So just go over there. All you have to do is create a Patreon account, which is totally free, and you can access those readings right now. You can buy them individually down below, but you can either buy one for $9.99 or you can get all 12 and access to the community for $14.99. So I think it's a better deal to just join the community. But I can't speak about it enough. You just have to check it out. And, people who join, there's just been such a transformation. Okay. So I think that's all I want to talk about right now. Let's dive into this reading here. And let's see what's going on right now for this new shift when it comes to relationships. Most important messages for the collective in love. All right, guys. So overall energy right now, we have the 8 of Swords. How you're thinking, we have the Queen of Coins. How you are feeling, we have the Fountain card. How you feel about the connection, we have the King of Cups, and the current challenge is going to be the 9 of Wands. So we'll definitely talk a lot about that. For your person, overall, they have the 8 of Cups. So look, you've got the 8 of Swords, they've got the 8 of Cups. So I love when that happens, okay? Because it just shows how you guys are like really in the same place. How they are thinking about you, we have the 8 of Wands. We have 3 8s on the table. They're thinking about communication, okay? How they are feeling about you, the Fool. I'm so excited already. This is so good. Like, I can just see how they are feeling this new shift and how excited they are about it, all right? How they feel about the connection, we have the Knight of Cups, and the challenge for them is going to be the 2 of Coins, okay? Now, bottom of the deck, we've got the 7 of Swords. So there still are things that have not been addressed. There are still things that have not fully come out and not have fully been discussed yet, but that's okay. You're going to be working through that. Once you get through that, that's when everything really starts. The Chariot. This is when everything really starts here, and you guys can really start moving in a positive direction. Everything that has happened prior to this, see, Mercury retrograde, messing with my speech. Everything that has happened prior to this has really all happened for a reason. And you guys are going to be able to move forward into a much, much, much more positive cycle here, okay? One where there's going to be more celebration, and one where there's going to be so much more new life and new energy, okay? I talked about this yesterday in my reading here. There is going to be collaboration between the two of you. There is going to be, you're going to be sharing something, and you're going to be able to celebrate this new beginning, okay? Some of you are coming together, and you're going to be creating something together. Maybe you're going to be, working on a project together, or you're just going to be creating a life together, okay? Now, the way that your overall energy, rather, right now. We have the Eight of Swords for you and the Eight of Cups for them. So this is a really interesting thing right now. I just peeked over the chat, and Chassie said, a baby. Yeah, some of you are definitely going to be creating a baby, and that card is showing up here with the Queen of Coins, okay? But anyhow, so it's interesting here. You got the Eight of Swords, they got the Eight of Cups. So this is like, I feel things have been flip-flopped in the past. You're really anxious about things right now. You're thinking about a lot of things in your head. What's going to happen? How's it going to work? What's going on? Okay. These are self-created doubts. These aren't real doubts, and these aren't real fears. And what's funny, or what's interesting, is that this person has the Eight of Cups. So where you may be worried about things, they're like, everything is fine. It's like a completely different energy. They're like, everything is fine. Like, we're going to leave everything up to the universe, up to God. Like, everything will fall into place. Like, everything is going well. Like, that's how they feel. And I feel that them feeling your doubts or your fears or your anxieties or your insecurities, I feel like they want to step in with the Eight of Wands here, and they want to communicate to you that everything's going to be fine. They want to communicate with you that everything's going to be okay, and not to worry, and just to give everything over to God. Any worries you have, give it over to God. If you can't figure something out, give it over to God. Like, just surrender. That's what they're doing. They're not trying to figure everything out. They have faith that everything's gonna work out. And the reason why this is happening is because they're receiving a lot of insights, okay? For a lot of them, for a while now, they've been getting, signs and synchronicities and things like this. And depending on whether or not they have followed those things, if they've been following the sign, if they've been following the synchronicities, if they've been having faith, if they've been walking down that path, then at this point in time, they're getting a lot of insights about what to do, what's happening, and what's going on with you. So they're not worried. They're not worried about this. You may be worried. You may not know what's going on, but that's a part of the process, is understanding that, especially if this person is a masculine energy, if they are a leader energy in your connection, then they are going to be receiving guidance on how to lead you, on how to guide you. So you may not always have all the information. And that's a big shift, because prior to this, maybe you were really, really connected and you really knew where things were heading. And that's shifting now. They are kind of the ones that know where this is heading, and it's their job to lead you to that. So we have the Queen of Coins and how you are thinking. And yes, like, this woman in this card, she is pregnant, okay? You may be at a point in your life where you have so much to give. You have so much love to give. You have so much nurturing to give. You have so much that it's time to really manifest that physically. A lot of people say that, I have so much love in me. I have so much love to give, and I feel like I'm wasting. I feel like I'm not giving it. That's going to start happening. This Queen of Coins, she's very stable in herself, but because she's so stable, she's able to give that stability out, okay? Like, she doesn't have to hold on to all of her stability for herself. She can give it away. This is a queen energy. The queen energy is about, saying there's enough for everyone. I don't have to be the star of the show. Like, everyone can have enough. And I feel like that's what's going on, is that, you know, you're being generous within your physical realm. Okay. So that's where you're at. Paired with that, we have the Fountain card. So this card is very specific to this deck. This is the Fountain Tarot. If you're interested in it, the link for it is down below. This is definitely my highest recommended deck for love readings. I love the energy that comes off of it. But the essence of this card, literally what it says is just be, like B-E, be. And that's where the energy is getting to right now, where you're just operating in the present moment. You know, you're just operating in the present moment. You're just focusing on what you can focus on, you know, in the very, very, very immediate future. Okay. Not getting too many steps ahead, because when you do, that's when the Eight of Swords pops in, and you may be kind of flipping back and forth between being in the moment and then getting stressed out, being in the moment and getting stressed out. So your goal is that you want to try and be in the moment as much as you possibly can, you know, just enjoy yourself and accept your life and your situation for where it is right now, and work out of the present moment. Right? So we can take this in any aspect. So let's say you're someone that's working on finances. Well, what can you do today that will help your finances tomorrow? You know, it's like you could be, you know, $50,000 in debt, right? Like you're not just going to drop $50,000 and be out of debt. Like, no, you're going to have to make like really practical, Queen of Coins, really practical day-to-day changes with the intention of what you want in mind. So that's the thing. It's about working in the physical now. A lot of people have been working in the spiritual. They've been really connected and really emotional, but now it's time to ground things down. You know, it's really time to ground things down. Okay. That's what's really important right now, to start seeing the results that you want, is taking everything you've been doing, all of the spiritual work and the spiritual healing and the knowledge and all of that, and start taking it and making something out of it. Okay. Now, the way that this person is feeling, they have the Fool. So they're ready to jump. They are ready to take a leap of faith towards this connection. Okay. They're ready to just go towards you. You know, they're ready to just go towards you. It may not have been like this before. This person may have been hesitant before. And that's why I said here, this is so funny, like how the energies, I feel like, have flipped, because I feel like this person is now more like going with the flow and like, you know, everything will be fine. Everything's going to, you know, work out. Like they're definitely more able to take that stance and take that perspective, which is really beautiful. So when it comes to this with you, it's like, okay, whatever the perceived barriers were before, I feel like those are being knocked down, because I feel like those barriers were fear-based. They were all in the mind. And as this person works through their fears as well, once they get over that, it's like nothing's going to be in the way. And that's why this cycle is so important, because once the fears are addressed, once things are out of the way, there's just going to be no barrier towards going for what you actually want and what they actually want. You're just going to do it. But this definitely requires a leap of faith, right? So the Fool is the first card of the major arcana. This is the beginning of a journey. This is definitely the beginning of a new cycle. And yes, there's going to be things that are going to come forward, but the first step is making that leap. And that's where I feel that a lot of people are at right now, is that you're being asked to step out in faith. You're being asked to trust God. So if there's something that you want to do, even though it may not, you may not know, oh my God, how is that going to work? How am I going to do it? that's really not your job. Your job is just to keep walking forward. And that's where this person is at right now. They're ready to walk forward, and everyone's walk is going to look differently, but they definitely are ready to take the first step. Okay. So very interesting here how you're feeling about the connection. You have the King of Cups, and how they are feeling about the connection. They have the Knight of Cups. So I feel like, you know, the person watching this video right now, you probably are likely someone who you're probably more emotional. You're probably more of a feeler type. This person was probably more logical and more of a thinker type. And what I feel like is that this person has been able to understand emotions by watching you, by being with you, by experiencing life with you. They've learned how to be more in touch with their emotions. And I feel like now they're at a point where they're more introspective about things. Like they maybe used to just like dismiss their emotions, or didn't trust their emotions, or didn't, you know, rely on their emotions for, for assistance. Okay. Now they do. Now they see the value in that. And I feel like now you're kind of sitting here in this position, like, yeah, like you feel more confident about your emotional state. Like maybe in the past you didn't have such a good emotional state. And maybe now you're in a much better place and you feel more in control of your emotions. Like your emotions don't run the show for you. Of course, you acknowledge them, you feel them, and you honor them, but you're still going to be able to make really good decisions too. Okay. So the challenge for you is going to be the Nine of Wands. The challenge for them is going to be the Two of Coins. So for you, you need to keep going on what you're doing. Whatever you're doing, whatever's gotten you to this point right now, if you're having a favorable outcome, keep going. Because a lot of times what happens is you hit a really good spot and then you get stagnant, right? Like how many people can agree with that? You get results that you want and then you stop doing the things that got you to those results. Like, no, you've got to keep going. There's still more to come. There's still more levels to unlock, you know, like, you know how they say like, oh, a woman's work is never done. I just feel like life's work is really never done. You know, there's always going to be another thing that you're going towards, another thing to work on, you know? So keep going with what you are doing. There's another thing ahead. Okay. This is just the beginning of a 7-year cycle. So if you feel like you've been working, like get ready to take things to the next level. Okay. Now for this person, the challenge is going to be the Two of Coins. So I feel like there's going to be a huge, and when I say huge, I mean huge shift in this person's life, like big. For them personally, okay, on a personal level, there are things in their life that need to be in balance. Things with them are definitely out of order. This likely has to do with their finances, with their career. They need to get those things in order stat, okay? But when it comes to this connection, I also feel like there's been imbalance between the two of you. Like maybe they've been like really focused on them and they put a lot of their energy and attention and time and resources. They use it on themselves, but now they're having to share that with you. They're having to like come together. Like I said, for some of you, if you've been resonating with a lot of my videos, like you and this person are moving towards some stronger commitment or connection, you know, whether that's going exclusive, whether that's going from exclusive to engaged to married to children, whatever it is, this person's going to have to balance something out, you know, in their life. They have to make space. So if you've been making space in your life, you know, like a lot of you who watch my channel, you know, you've quit your jobs or you've like let go of material things and you've been like making space, you know, for new things in your life, or you have this like really big focus on spirituality and emotional growth. So there's a lot of physical space in your life, right? Like maybe you've got the ability to kind of just like pick up and go, or, whatever it is. Now it's like this person has to make the physical space in their life for the things that they want. So like if they want to, have you as a part of their life, right? Let's say a lot of you have told me, oh, your person's a workaholic, right? They work all these crazy hours, or they have their own business and they work all these crazy hours. Well, if they want to have a relationship, they have to start scaling that back, right? Like if they're working, 70, 80 hours, well, like where's the time for you? These are the type of things we're starting to realize. Like I've got to scale things back. I've got to have different hours. I have to make space for a person in my life. Maybe they're living in a little studio apartment where there's no room for you. They've got to get a bigger place, right? Or maybe they don't have a lot of free money, to support you. Well, that's something that they have to look into doing, So it's like, yes, like these things are going to take time. Okay. It's not just going to be like a overnight type of thing. These things are going to take time. But the important thing is that they're on this person's mind. Okay. That's the important thing, is they're starting to think more in that way instead of blaming the situation. This is what I preach. Don't blame the situation. Take responsibility for it and change it. So if they've had some type of issue, it's like, you've just got to take responsibility and change it. All right. So let's grab the action steps here and the outcomes. All right. So what are the next steps moving forward? What can people actually do here? Okay. Like what can they actually do? Practical advice. That's what I try to give in my readings, very practical advice, realistic advice, and then what everyone can expect. Okay, so the action step for you, we have the Six of Cups. Beautiful. And the outcome for you, we have the King of Wands. Oh, awesome. Okay, so for them, the action step, the Emperor, I love this, that this is in the action step. Some of you could be dealing with Aries. You don't have to be, but I love this. And the outcome for them is going to be the Hanged Man. Awesome. Perfect. Bottom of the deck, we've got the Page of Swords here. So I feel like right now, where should you be focusing your mind towards? Page of Swords, the vision. The vision. It's all about the vision. If you don't have a vision, if you don't know what you want to do, if you don't have any goals, if you don't have any plans, and you're just like riding life, you will never achieve what you want. This is a time, like with this shift, this is a time to really think, and I mean like literally take out a book and write word for word what you want. Like by this age, I will have this. By this age, by this year, by this time. Like really, 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 it's about the vision, and you have to have a similar vision. If you don't have a similar vision, you'll never come together. And that's the biggest like core issue, is that you may have an idea about something you want to do. This person may have a totally different idea, and you're trying to get this person on board with what you're doing, and they're trying to get you on board, and it will never work. You have to have the same vision, okay? Now, as far as the action steps, like what can you actually do right now, it's actually quite great, okay? So for you, the person watching this video, we have the Six of Cups. Like, really remember, not just remember, but really feel those feelings that you felt when you initially met this person. How did you feel at that time? That's what you need to do. Very simple. So for you, it's kind of more about just doing things that evoke the feelings of love, that evoke the feelings of connectedness. And it doesn't necessarily have to be with this person. For some of you, it will be, and some of you, you won't. Some of you, you're not in communication with this person, but to evoke those same feelings, okay? Maybe do things that you've done previously with this person, you know, like for you, it's just about like for you, it's all about the feeling. Okay. That's how you manifest things. It's about the feeling, like feeling connectedness, feeling joy, feeling happiness, feeling that. And anything that you can do that brings that up, perfect. Like that's something that you can literally do right now. You have the choice right now to feel that way. But this is where the whole fear thing comes in too. Your fears could be preventing you and blocking you from feeling like this. So if you're afraid to let yourself fall, right? You're afraid to let yourself fall. You're afraid to let yourself have these feelings. Like if you're afraid of being let down, you're afraid of, what if it doesn't work out, or, whatever, what ifs and what ifs and what ifs. It's going to be really hard to evoke these feelings, right? Now, for this person, I love this. Their action step is the Emperor. So like we just spoke about with this Two of Coins here, I mean, it's really time for them to get to work, to get to work. It's really time for them to put the effort in to achieve the vision. Whatever this Fool represents for them, whatever they're, aiming for, striving for, whatever they want, they just have to go get it. They just have to go get it. That's it. It's very, very, very simple. And I feel that this person is definitely they're in a place emotionally and mentally where it's not going to be that hard. Like it's really not going to be that hard. I feel like they already know what they need to do. It's just a matter of doing it and staying focused. Okay. So like we said here with the Two of Coins, it's about making those changes and making those adjustments in their life. So it's like, okay, if they want to have you live with them, okay, well, get a place that would, comfortably house the two of you. Simple, right? Like it's simple. Obviously, everyone's situation is different. There might be different barriers or different, different things that are, would prevent that. But again, that's really not your job to worry about. Like, that's what I want to stress here. Like, it's really not your problem. It's really not. It's up to them. It's up to them to do that. Like, they need to be the Emperor. And it's like, if you want this person to be a leader, if you want them to, guide you forward, you want them to take care of you, you want them to be a provider for you, or you just want them to take care of themselves and provide for themselves. Because for some of you, this person may not even be providing for themselves. They may not even have their own assets. They may not even have their own resources. Right? Like, let's be honest here. Some of them may not even have that, and they have to get it. That's something they have to do, right? So if you're offering assistance to them and they're depending on that assistance, then they will be what we call codependent. So it's about building this person's independence. And for some of them, depending on their personality type and who they are and the type of person they are, they're just going to do this. Like, this is just in their nature. But for others of them, it's going to be something that needs to be fostered, and something that you can help them to foster an independent nature. Absolutely. Okay. But remember, there's nothing more that you really need to do than to just have good feelings. Like the Six of Cups, there's not a lot of action here. It's just a feeling. It's a feeling. That's all this is. They're the one that's got to put in the work. They've got to put in the effort. That's a lot of the change that's happening here is like a lot of the collective can kind of sit back now and say, okay, look, I've done my work. I've done my work. And especially if you resonate with this row here, it's like at this point, you're just enjoying the journey. You're just enjoying the ride at this point. Like everything's just a matter of time. And that's why this fountain card is here is like, just be in the present moment because like, just enjoy the present moment because when things really do change, like I said, for some of you, like marriage is coming up, engagement is coming up, all this is coming up. Like when that happens, it's like happening. It's like really, really, really happening. So use this time wisely. Like use it to do you. Like use it to do what you want to do. Like get yourself out of, if you're not in a favorable situation right now, like get yourself out of that situation. Like work on yourself. Like do what you need to do. Follow your vision. Follow your mission. Follow your plan. If you don't have these things, develop them or get in contact with people, i.e. me, or join a group, i.e. Rise Community, that can help you to develop those things so that when this does happen, you're ready. But that's what this phase is all about. Like, it's just about doing you and enjoying the ride and loving your life. That's going to help to draw this person to you. This Six of Cups energy is it's going to draw that person to you, right? They were probably attracted to you in the first place because you were a really happy and bubbly and exciting person. And if you've lost that, if you've fallen away from that, then it's just time to get back to that. And that may have been taken away from you. Maybe your circumstances have changed. Maybe you've changed. But now it's time to understand that everything is fine. Everything is fine. Everything's working out. The best thing you can do, and I channeled this on my Feminine Friday video if you haven't seen that, like the thing that makes the masculine the happiest is when you're happy. Like, how simple can that get? Like, they don't want you to do anything. They just want you to be happy. They just want you to enjoy yourself and live your life. And if you know you haven't been living your life to the fullest, if you know that you haven't been like really happy, then it's time to get happy. Okay. Or if you're not living your mission, if you're not living your purpose, it's time to start living your mission. It's time to start living your purpose. That'll bring you happiness. When you're on your mission, you will be happy. When you do what you love every day, you're going to be happy. Now, for them, their outcome is the Hanged Man. So, like we've talked about, big cycles have ended. 7-year cycles have ended. And if there was something that was holding them back, for a lot of you, this person was in another relationship, they were in another marriage, they were in between divorces and all of that, or maybe they were at a job that wasn't good for them, or maybe they've had family stuff or personal health issues, whatever it is, whatever situation is for your person, this is the time where they're going to be able to let that go once and for all. Like, finally, good riddance, bye, out of my life. Because what they're realizing is that you can't get something, you can't gain something in life until you give something up. You've got to give something up to gain something. That's just how, that is the game of life 101, right? So that's why I'm saying, like, if there's something in your life you don't like, if there's something in your life that doesn't add value, doesn't add purpose, give it up so that it can be replaced with something else. And that's what this person is going through. And like I feel, they're going through a massive shift here. And this is the best way for them to close the cycle, is by letting go and releasing the things in their life that do not serve any value, that do not serve any purpose. Okay? So that is awesome. This is an awesome reading, okay? Awesome, awesome, awesome stuff here. Now, let's pull some oracle cards. Let's get the most important message for the connection here. Most important message. Trust. Trust. I think that this is the hardest thing for people to wrap their mind around is trust. And it's not just trusting each other. Like, that's obviously very, very, very important. It's important to trust one another. And if that's one of the fears for you, if you've been burned in the past, if they've been burned in the past, and if they're carrying that fear or that burden around with them, that's something that needs to be abolished. Like, that cannot come forward in this cycle. You can't use your past experiences to, say what's going to come next, or say, because this happened to me before, it's going to happen again, or because this happened, with this last person, then this person must do that. Or if I've been cheated on, then I will be cheated on again. Or if this didn't work out, it will happen. That is the number one thing that is going to hold you back. The number one thing. That's so important. And it's on both sides. Like, you just both have to let go of what has happened in your past, in your childhood, and even with each other. If you guys have had issues in the past, it's like, you've just got to let it go. Like, you've got to realize that it's just time to move on, and it's time to grow up, and it's time to be better. It's time to be better. Like, literally, 2019 is the year of live your best life. Like, live your best life. You are going to be the only one that holds you back. And like, that may be like the tough love thing, but I will, if I have to be the tough love reader, I will be that person. Like, I want to get you guys unstuck. I don't want you guys watching tarot for the rest of your life. Like, you've just got to trust. And furthermore, you've got to trust God. Like, you have to understand that life is set up for you to succeed if you let it help you, if you enjoy the process and realize that everything is a learning experience, and realize that everything is set up to help you grow and to show you something, even the bad things have purpose, then life becomes really fun. And you can see it in a whole different perspective. But you have to trust that everything that's happening to you is happening for a reason, and that there's no reason to worry. So that's big. It's big. It's on both sides. It's on both sides. You both have to trust, and you have to have faith. And I feel like this person, I feel like they're gaining that faith foundation. They maybe had an experience happen to them that built their faith up a little bit. And I feel like that's why they're jumping forward, because their faith has been built up. They've seen a miracle. They've seen a sign. They had an encounter. They had an experience. And now they have faith. Okay? It's all about faith. All about faith. Faith is the most important thing. Now, for you, what's the most important message for the person watching this video right now? Okay, we have engagement. I'm telling you guys, this has come out in so many of my readings. Like, I know it. A lot of you are walking down the path of engagement. But it's a path, right? Like, it's a path. Are there still things that need to be done? Yes, like we've talked about here, okay? But yes, in general, it doesn't necessarily have to be engagement. It's just that your love life is ascending to a higher level of commitment. So a lot of what some of you may be experiencing and that I've seen is like just the way that you've done relationships in the past, the things that you've allowed or the things that you have like let happen, you're not doing that anymore. You're not doing that anymore. You've recognized your patterns. You've recognized things that you've let fly. You've recognized red flags that you've missed in the past. And like, you're not doing it anymore. And you have a higher level, a higher standard of what it takes for you to put in effort. Like, you're not just going to do anything someone says because, you know, maybe in the past that was coming from a place of lack of self-love, but you've got the self-love now. So you wouldn't put yourself in a stupid situation. You know what I mean? So it's like, you're not letting yourself be in situations that are not productive, situations that are not supportive, situations that, you know, don't make you grow. You just wouldn't even put yourself in those positions anymore. And like I said, maybe that happens with that person. Maybe when you met this person, maybe you were still in that mindset and maybe you did let things slide that you wouldn't let slide now, or things that are not acceptable. So you have to hold yourself to a higher standard. You have to hold people around you in your life to a higher standard. And you definitely have to hold this person to a higher standard. It's like your price just went up. Like, your price just went up. You can't be bought for the same price that you used to be bought for. You expect much more, much greater, and you're not going to settle for anything less than what you deserve, period. And for a lot of you, it's like, if this person wants to take this next step with you, if they want to be in your life, they're going to have to give you a higher level of commitment. They're going to have to give you a higher priority. So this is where you have to take responsibility and say, okay, I'm not going to allow that, or this is what I accept, or this is what I expect. And you have to also be willing to cut people who don't meet those expectations either. So it works both ways, but that is an amazing thing. That is tremendous. You know, that is a tremendous step. And it's a great place to be because this is where you hold power. This is where you hold power. Now, for some of you, I don't feel this is like a big message. I feel this is probably specific for someone watching or someone who may watch this in a recording. The Six of Cups may be a past lover that is coming back. It may not be this person. It may be someone else. And this person may come back to show you how far you've come. So you may have an interaction with this person and you may go, wow, I cannot believe that I used to like this person, or I can't believe I dated them in the past, or I can't believe I did what I did with them. And it's like, it's just to show you like, wow, I really have evolved. I really have grown. So be aware of that. Because again, I know everyone's in different situations here, but yeah, that could also be happening for some. I feel that for someone. Okay. So let's pull a message for your person. Oh my goodness. I thought a bunch of cards were about to fall out. Most important message for your person. Children. Oh my God. This came out yesterday as well, you guys. I'm telling you, like, marriage, children, engagement, that has all been coming out very heavily, a lot here. Okay. So for this person, we have children. So I see this in 3 different ways when this card comes up. So there's probably 3 different pockets here. So number 1, I feel that for some of you, this person has children, and that could be something that holds them back from like fully coming towards you, but that may become not a non-factor. Their children are not going to be a non-factor. It's just that if that held them back in the past, they may not see that as such a big deal anymore. They may have had their own, like, the children represented something else. The children represented a past life. It represented a past relationship. It represented, maybe a time in their life where they weren't at the understanding they have right now. And maybe they've been coping with that. They've been trying to understand that. They've been trying to deal with that. For some of you, maybe this person has only been with that individual because of the children. And I feel like they may be saying, you know, that's not really a good enough reason anymore. I need to be with the person that I love, and that'll be better for the children. So I feel like that's a super specific message. I really never channel anything like that. So I feel like that's for someone. Um, for some of you, I feel like this person's childhood is being brought to their attention. Like they maybe had one understanding of it at this point of their life, and now they have a different understanding of it, and they're able to see how it's shaped them and how it's affected them, or how they've like mimicked behaviors, or how they were influenced as children, and maybe they were taken off of the path that they wanted to go on as children. Because when we're children, we're most connected to God. We're like most connected. We're so innocent, right? And I feel like maybe this person's innocence was taken away very young, or their like childhood ideas or dreams were not honored. Maybe their parents didn't like help to foster those things in them, didn't like give them the emotional support and encouragement that they needed. And now they're kind of understanding how that's affected them as an adult. And for some of them, they may be wanting to pursue those things. And maybe when they were kids, they're like, oh, I want to do this. I want to be an actor. I want to do, you know, whatever it was. It probably was very out of the ordinary. And maybe now they're having those same desires again. Okay. So that's, again, like a very specific pocket. But then for the third pocket, I feel like this person just wants children. Like it's just something that they're thinking about. It's something that they want to have. It's something they want into their life. And for some of them, that's what this Two of Pentacles in the challenge position represents, is that if they want to have kids, if they want children, then they need to change the life they're living right now. Like they need to change it in the sense of, number one, they need to make space for children. Like if they're not living in a space that would foster children, like that would need to change. If they're not a good role model for children, that needs to change. Like if they don't have the resources or like the maturity or any of that for children, like all of that would need to change before that could even be on the table. You know, like that's the first thing. So that's something that could be a motivating factor for some of them. That could be why some of them are going to work so hard, is because now they know that that's what they want. They know that that's a lifestyle that they like want to live. So they have to create the environment for that. So that is that, yeah, that's for one group. But I definitely feel that for this like third pocket of people, this person, it's a big desire of theirs, and maybe it was always a desire they had. Maybe they've just fallen away with it. They've gotten distracted or whatever. But now it's like coming back. It's coming back up heavily for them. Okay, so that was your love reading. I hope you guys enjoyed that. The chat has been firing this whole time, and I haven't been able to look at anything, but I hope you guys have enjoyed this, and I hope you guys have found this very, very valuable. We're going to take the challenges here now. So for you, we have the Nine of Wands. So it's about moving forward, determination. You know, it's all about standing the test of time, you know, like, or withstanding challenges, about going forward. We're going to do a spread all about that. Okay. So for those of you who are logging off, I really quickly just want to mention that down below this video, you will find a link to my next live session, which is going to be a full moon in Libra live reading. So I'm going to be doing a reading just like you're seeing here, but it's going to be on the night of the full moon for a group of people. There are going to be there are a lot of spots available, but for the first 10 people who sign up, you're going to get a card pulled during the reading. So check that out down below. If you like my live readings and you want to be like more interactive where I can like actually really like see you and look at you and talk to you and like speak with you, like that's going to be something to look into. You know, eventually guys, my live readings are going to be going away as my life changes and as my life evolves. So if you want to connect with me, check that out down below. Remember, first 10 people are going to get a card pulled for them on screen, on camera. Okay. All right. Let's reset here. Let's do the life reading. So this is going to be more about you specifically, what you need to do, what you need to look into, and how that all is going to work out for you and pan out for you specifically. All right. So this is the life reading. So this is what we do in Rising Community every week. Okay, so there's a love reading like you saw there, and then we do the life reading. And this is the more practical side for you, because like we just saw, you know, there's really nothing for you to do when it comes to that other person besides focus on yourself. That's the only thing you need to do. There's nothing. You don't need to give any support. You don't like, there's nothing you need to do. Like, it's all about that person, and you have to have trust. Like the card said, everything is working out. Everything is fine. And you've got to build the life you want to live. You can think about it like this. You're building your wife life, right? So if you were a wife or whatever, you know, what would you want your life to look like? What would you want to have? What do you want to be like? It's time for you to become that person right now. Okay. So this is where I think the collective needs to start shifting, is more towards, you know, focusing on the self, on self-improvement, self-development. And like, that's what I'm all about, because that's how you're going to manifest the life you want. It's not going to be that person giving it to you. It's going to be you going out and getting it. All right. So overall energy, the 4 of Wands, celebration time. Okay. In your head space, Father of Pentacles. In your heart space, the Devil. The goal here is the Emperor, and the goal or the main focus for you is the 6 of Pentacles. The lesson or the challenge is going to be the 7 of Swords. This is the same card that came out underneath the deck in the first reading. Okay, the action is the 8 of Swords. This was your overall energy. A block that you could face is the Moon, and the outcome of this cycle, excuse me, oh my goodness, 2 of Wands. Bottom of the deck, we've got the 4 of Cups here. Okay, so I feel different stuff. Whenever I do these live readings, I definitely feel like different energies. So you have the 4 of Cups, but then it's backed by the 10 of Cups, which makes a whole lot of sense. Like, you know, for some of you, you may be like really in your feelings about things and like maybe not seeing things for what they really are, not seeing how like blessed you are, not seeing how much opportunity you have. You're not seeing like all the positivity right now. But I feel like once you work through whatever your block is, whatever you work through, whatever your fear, your challenge is, you really quickly realize that, and you're super happy and you're super grateful, and you realize that you have everything you need. Like, it's really, really there if you're open to receiving it. A lot of people block their blessings. They have no idea how blessed they are. They don't see it, and they don't understand, you know. But when you can kind of like move beyond the challenging things or the things that didn't work out the way that you wanted them to work out or whatever, you see that you're really in the best place in life that you possibly can be. And we have the High Priestess here, you know, with the Father of Cups, which also came out for you, you know, was understanding that emotional side of things so much more, and being more intuitive and being more connected, and knowing that that's where your guidance is coming from. That's where your leadership is coming from. It's not coming from the outside world. It's not coming from another person, especially not a love relationship person. Like, your path is coming from within and above. And when you can become stable in that and satisfied in that, you're not going to be, you know, drawn around and just pulled around in life. You're going to feel much more in control, which is the goal here, is to have control over your life, to have control over your emotions. Okay, so the overall energy is the Four of Wands. Truly and honestly, if you have done the work, if you really have like, and this is not, oh, I think I've done it. No, you know it. You feel it because you feel forward momentum in your life. You're seeing forward momentum in your life. Then there's nothing for you to worry about. You can chill, you can celebrate, you can relax, you can go out, you can put your feet up. There's no need to, do the most anymore. You can chill, like with the Father of Pentacles here and the Devil card, I feel like there has been already a lot of work put in. You've been already thinking about the long term. You've already thought about your plan, and you're committed to it. Like you're on it. And if you're not, this is an opportunity to get on it. This is a time where you can get on it. Okay. Like I said, Mercury retrograde is not just a bad thing. If you've done work, if you're where you're at, it can show you the work that you've done. If you've been putting in the work, it shows you, okay, this is where you're at. If you haven't, it may show you things that you need to change. Okay. So that's the thing right now, is focus on you long-term plan. Like I said, if you're someone here who like desires for marriage and you desire for partnership, what would your life be like in that partnership for you? Not, oh, what are we going to do together? No, what are you going to do? What do you want? That's how you need to be focused, okay? The right person, or when the right timing is right, you and that person will seamlessly come together. There will be no worries, no fears, no doubts, because you would have both been individual, like, people, not one person pulling each other and saying, you got to do this. It wouldn't be like that. Okay. So this Devil energy here, what I'm feeling from this, it's just about being committed to your path. The Devil energy doesn't necessarily have to be a bad thing. It's just about being committed to your path. Okay. This is the card of Capricorn. I am a Capricorn, so I can vouch for this. There definitely is benefit towards this Pentacles energy and being grounded. And that's what I'm feeling, is like, it's just now is a time to get grounded. Like whatever has gone on with you, it's like, whatever, it does not matter. Get grounded. Got the Emperor here. Be in charge of your own life. Be responsible for your own life. Be responsible for your own emotions, not a victim to them. Are you living life, or is life living you? Do you have emotions, or do those emotions have you? Like that is like what it is right now. So you need to be the boss of you. Okay? That's blunt, forward, simple. It's so simple. It's just that. There's not a lot of fluff here. Six of Pentacles. Making sure that you're getting your worth and your value out of the things that you're putting your time and effort into. A lot of people complain when people do this. Like, have you noticed this in your life? When you set your boundaries, or when you set your value, or your worth, people start acting weird. People start acting funny. Like, yeah, but this is what has to happen. This is what has to happen. People get so upset. This is a experience that we all can relate to, or can see, like whenever people, like, for example, myself, like, I'm like, all right, my readings are only going to be in Rising community. I've had like 200 people unsubscribe from my channel for that. And that happens every single time. But it's like, I know how valuable my stuff is. And I know how valuable what I say is. And it's like, you've got to pay for it. And I say that not to brag, but I say that because these are the types of things that you need to start doing in your own life. There are a lot of you who are over-giving, and you're getting absolutely nothing out of that. You're at this job, you're putting in your hard work, you're giving it your all, but there are other people there who aren't doing crap. And you're coming home burnt out, tired, exhausted. Like, you got to reevaluate. Like, is that a job I want to have? Is that a situation I want to be in? Like, you've got to reevaluate. This is the main focus right now. You have to make sure that if you're doing something, you should not feel burnt out. If you are doing something you feel burnt out, that's the wrong thing. That is a warning sign that you're not doing the right thing, or that you're not taking care of yourself, or you haven't negotiated a proper contract. So that's where you've got to focus right now. You've got to make sure that you're doing the right things and that you're on top of what you're doing, okay? We have the 7 of Swords here. So like I said, some of you guys need to pull back. You've got way too much energy out there. You've got to pull back. You got to hold things in. You got to hold back from certain things and certain people and certain situations. And that's a lesson that you're learning. Like, naturally, a lot of people who are on this path are empaths and they want to give and they want to help. And that's true. You should give and you should want to help, but you've got to do it in a way where you're not burnt out or stressed out, or you're not on the other side of that, not getting anything. You should be able to take care of yourself for the effort that you're putting in. Okay. So the action here, and this came up as well, and we'll actually pull a clarifier for it here. But the action here is the 8 of Swords. So you may be finding yourself like thinking about this a lot. And I think that where this comes up is like when you assert your value, you might think about it like, am I doing the right thing? Okay, we just had the 5 of Cups. Yeah, you're going to have to leave things alone. You're going to have to walk away from things. And that's, I think, where the fear is coming in. It's like, oh my God, if I leave this situation, if I leave this job, if I leave this relationship, if I leave this person, like what's going to happen? Oh my God. But that's going to stop you from going forward on your own path. Okay. And what's going to hold you back? I'm definitely got the Magician here, but what's going to hold you back is the Moon, is your own emotions. You are going to hold yourself back. Like I said, you are the only limit in your life right now. If you're not doing something or you're not working on something, you're holding yourself back. Period. If something is not going the way that you want it to go, it's your fault. Like if you're in a situation and you don't like it and you're staying in it, it's your fault. And there's just something else that you need to work through. A lot of times we stay in situations because of fears that we have. You've got to work through those fears, or you've got to work through those wounds, or you're never going to get to the 2 of Wands here. And that's just what it is. That's just what it is. You'll never get what you want in life if you don't work through that. So that was pretty, it was a really straightforward message here. It just is what it is, and it's like at a point you have to get off of the train that you're on and you have to get on a better one. And I saw someone who's really popular in the tarot community, doing a very similar message she put out today. And it's like, if you're on a sinking ship, either you're going to like find a life vest and try to like get a lifeboat and get out of there, or you're going to go down with it. So this is a time where you've got to really like look at, am I on a sinking ship or am I on a yacht, or like where am I at right now? And if you stay on a ship that's sinking, you're going to go down with it. And you're going to, guess what? You're going to go into the cycle over and over again. So it's just a choice. And I know that's hard to hear. And I know that's real, but it's like, we need more people out there telling the truth and keeping it real with people. All right. So let's pull some messages from the universe here. Let's see what the most important messages are. Okay, so that'll definitely be 1, 2, and 3. So the first message that flipped out, it says, and this is so good for today. When I am connected to my joyful presence, I attract support from the universe. That is such a fitting message for what we heard today. But it's like, you've got to be in the energy of joy. You have to be in the energy of abundance. You have to be in the energy of love. You have to be in the energy of whatever it is that you want to attract, right? So if you're negative, you're going to attract more negative. If you're positive, you're going to attract positive. If you're grateful, you're going to attract other people who are grateful. So you're going to see, like, based upon like the energy you're in, how your life is going to go. So like, look at what you see in your experience and say, like, am I in a good spot? Am I in a good place? Or like, what can I change? But definitely for those of you who are like sitting pretty and you're just like, all right, it's just a matter of time. Like, all you've got to do is just be joyous. That's it. That is it. It's so simple. It's so simple. Just do things that make you happy every day. Wake up and do what makes you happy, And that's hard to do. And I understand that can be hard to do. But then that's where it comes down to, you've got to let go of some things too. If you're not able to do that, you've got to let go of something. And it may be sad and it may suck, but it's like, you've got to let go. Otherwise, it's like, you're just going to do the same thing over and over again, And when you're in that presence, like, people are going to leave. Okay. 5 of Cups, people are going to leave your life who aren't on that same vibration. And that is fine. Either they'll get on the vibration or, you'll just have to separate for a period of time. It's so the way that energy works is really so simple when you like master it. Okay. The next card says, my capacity to tune in to the energy of love gives me the words I need when I'm ready to speak up, the compassion I need when it's time to forgive, and the power I need when I am lost. So this is all about getting into the energy of love, okay? All about it. When you're in that energy, you're going to have everything you need. You're so powerful. There's nothing that is not given to you. There's nothing that is not available to you. And you always have the ability to tap into it and tune into it. You just have to find your way of connecting and find your way of doing that, which I'm super happy to help anyone do. But the process of getting there, it takes work. Like, it takes work, and it takes facing your fears and doing the hard things to get to that point in life. But when you get there, you never want to leave. You never want to leave. You never want to go back. You don't want to get off of the happy train. You never want to get off. And you do whatever it takes to defend your happiness. So if you don't do that, if you don't feel like you feel blocked, you feel like you can't say what you need to say, you've got to connect in with that energy of love. If you don't feel like you have the power, to guide you when you're lost, you've got to connect to that energy of love. It's something that everyone can do for themselves. You don't have to watch tarot to do it, okay? Like, everyone can get to that on their own just by connecting with love and going to the source of love. And the source of love is God. Develop a relationship with God, and everything in your life will fall into place, okay? Final card says, and this is also so beautiful and such a beautiful final card, is that the moment I embrace my peace within and surrender to the outcome is the moment that the universe can truly get to work. This could not be a better card for this reading. Like, these two cards are perfect. You have to let go. You have to let go of all of your reservations, let go of all of your fears, let go of all your doubts. Let go of that situation that you're, fighting, the one you're trying to figure out, like, what's going on. Let go of it. Give it to God. How much do you trust God? If you trust him, he will take care of it for you. And if you don't, you will continue to be wrangling around with it. But you have to have the strength to trust and to give it over and to let it go and to not be so into it and not be so worried about it. Like, if you're trying to figure something out, the universe is like, okay, I'll let you like figure that out yourself. But if you want my help, I'm here. Like, that is how the universe is looking at you right now. Like, either you're going to let the universe help or you don't. Either you just surrender and do what you need to do and focus on yourself and follow the guidance, or you go against the universe's wishes for you and life's really hard and it's really difficult and you're drained and you're burnt out. It's like you've just got to you got to go with it and always be doing what feels right, even if it's hard. Even if it's hard, doing the right thing is not always easy, but you definitely feel a lot better. So, guys, I hope that has helped you. I hope that has given you some spoke life into your life right now. I hope that has given you something to really chew on there. And like I said, if you like these readings, if you like my messages, if you like the way that I deliver things, you're going to want to get in Rising Community. I will not be here forever. I will be upfront and frank about that because my life is changing, right? Because I'm evolving and I'm growing, and I hope you guys will grow with me. But if you like this, it will remain in Rising Community. It will be there. Okay. I'm going to pull one card. So if you are in Rising Community Premium, whenever I do a live reading, you get a card pull. So that's one of the benefits of being a premium member, is that you're always going to get a little message every week. So I'm going to pull one card. If you would like a card pulled, then you can leave a super chat within the next 5 to 10 minutes. If you leave a super chat, I will pull a card for you here. Okay. So really quickly, before I pull the card for the one person, I want to remind you guys about my live reading next Wednesday night for the Libra full moon. The full moon energy is so perfect, and it's really good for detoxing and releasing and letting go of things and, making space in your life, which we've talked about a lot, making space. And if you would like to be a part of that experience, the link for that will be down below. It is $10 to join in, so it is super affordable, and the first 10 people will get a card pulled on camera, okay? So check that out. That's going to be next week, March 20th at 7 p.m. Eastern. If you would like to get your March love reading, so that you and the other person specifically for your sign, that info is down below as well. I haven't done all the signs yet, but they are down there, okay? They are going to be down there. Those are $9.99 a piece, or if you join Rising Community Basic, you get all of them for $14.99, plus you get this reading included, and you get community. So it's a pretty good deal if you do it that way. I'm always open for private readings, always. That has never changed, and that probably will not change. If you are interested in learning tarot for yourself, whether that be for your own personal use or for possibly creating your own YouTube channel or creating your own business, I am accepting applications still. I am in the process of conducting interviews right now, and I will be selecting all the final applicants within the next 2 weeks or so. So if you are interested in that, get an interview this month. I would like to get everyone going and started within April. And yeah, the giveaway winners, I will be announcing those very soon as well. So I did offer to give away a couple free readings, and I will announce the people who are going to be the recipients of those readings very, very soon. Okay. So that, I think, is everything I want to talk about there. Let's go ahead, and I'm going to pull a card for Stacy. And I'm going to pull a universe card for her and a romance angels card for her. So we will see what's going on in her situations. Thank you, Stacy, for allowing me to pull this card for you. And I hope you're having a great day at work. All right, so let's go ahead and let's pull a romance angels card for Stacy. What's the most important message for Stacy, please? What does she need to know? Most important message here. Okay, I love it. Stacy, you have calling in your soulmate. So everything you're doing right now is helping you to bring this person into your life. All of the action that you're taking right now, all of the forward momentum that you're taking, all of the responsibility that you're taking, the hard things you're doing, the great things that you're doing, I mean, you're doing so, so much. That is all guiding you and leading you straight into the arms of this person, straight into the arms of them. And you're seeing that come back to you. You're seeing how, as you take forward steps, you're seeing this person literally, it's like the universe giving you little rewards along the way of all the work that you're doing. So that's beautiful. Keep doing what you're doing. Keep praying. I know you're good at prayer. Keep praying. Keep saying your affirmations. Keep visualizing. And that's going to come together when the time is right. Always. When the time is right. When you're in position and they're in position. So let's pull a message from the universe for you. Same message that came out. So I'll read it again for you. So it says, my capacity to tune into the energy of love gives me the words I need when I'm ready to speak up, the compassion I need when it's time to forgive, and the power I need when I am lost. Beautiful card. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful card. And like I said, like, I know how connected you are into things. And that is what that's everything, you know, that is everything. Just keep building that foundation, keep building and growing in that relationship, and you're going to have everything you need. Everything you need is going to come along the way. It comes along the way when you need it. And I love that you already have that faith and you know it, and you're starting to see that. So beautiful, beautiful. You're on the right path, nothing to worry about, and you know that. So I'm so excited for you. That was the message for Stacy. I know that we did have a super chat come up, but I cannot see them. I don't know why. There was someone who did leave a super chat. I don't know how I can do that live, but if you are the person that left the super chat on here, please get in contact with me because I can't see them. But that is it, you guys. That is my live reading. Okay. I hope you guys enjoyed that. I hope you guys have found value in this. I hope it was worth the hour and 25 minutes that you spent with me today. Thank you guys so much for being here. And thank you so much for your support wherever you give it. If that's giving me comments, giving me likes, sharing my videos, subscribing to me, being in Rising Community, you know, buying readings, you know, signing up for a mentorship, whatever you do, I love that. I appreciate it. It gives me life. This is literally my dream and my vision in reality, you know, and so it means so much. I really, really, really do appreciate you guys so, so, so much. And if you're looking to have the same results in your life and you're stuck, reach out for help. Reach out for help. I am here. I won't be here for a long time, but I'm here for a good time. Okay. So thank you guys so much. Thank you guys so much for watching this, and I will see you guys very soon with more videos. Bye.